Don't worry your pretty little head about it.
You're cute, though.
My name is Ethan Carter. I'm a quiet man, steady, private. I spent decades building my company from the ground up, brick by brick. I never chased the spotlight or applause. In fact, most people never even realize that the guy in jeans and a plain t-shirt standing at the back of the conference room was the one signing their paychecks. That included my wife's boss. My wife, Clara, is my complete opposite. She's warm, social, a magnet for people. She shines at big events, while I'm much more comfortable with spreadsheets and silence. But when she asked me to come to her office party, of course, I said yes. That's what marriage is, right? Showing up for each other, even when it's outside your comfort zone. The moment we walked in, I felt like a complete outsider. Crystal glasses were clinking, laughter echoed around the room, and little groups formed instantly. It seemed like everyone knew everyone else, everyone except me. Clara must have sensed my unease because her fingers gently brushed mine. "You'll be fine," she whispered, giving me a reassuring smile. And then he appeared, Victor Langley, her department head. He was one of those guys with a handshake that is a little too firm and a confidence that is way too loud. He spotted me from across the room and gave me a smirk. It was the kind of look that said he'd already judged me, sized me up, and completely dismissed me before I'd even had a chance to open my mouth. He strolled over, a glass of whiskey swirling in his hand. "Ethan, right?" "Clara's husband." I just nodded politely. He took a slow sip. "Must be interesting," he said, drawing out the word, "being with someone as sharp and ambitious as her." "She's one of our best." The way he said interesting, the way his eyes skimmed over me from head to toe. He wasn't complimenting Clara. He was belittling me. I forced a tight, polite smile. "Yes," I said, "she's incredible." He leaned in closer then, dropping his voice to a conspiratorial whisper. "But you're more of a behind-the-scenes guy, right? Supportive, steady, cute. Cute. That one word hit me harder than any outright insult ever could. Cute. It meant small. It meant harmless. It meant I was beneath him. I could feel a hot flush rising in my chest, but I swallowed it down. I chose silence over confrontation and just walked away. A few minutes later, Clara found me, her brow creased with concern. "Are you okay?" she asked. "Fine," I lied. But it wasn't fine. Inside, something old and heavy had shifted. It was a reminder of every single time in my life I'd been underestimated, overlooked, completely unseen. Victor didn't know me. He had no idea what I'd built. He didn't know who owned the very company he worked for, but he was about to find out. I stepped out onto the balcony, taking a deep breath of the cool night air. The city lights shimmered below like a blanket of scattered diamonds. I thought about all the late nights, the sacrifices, the small, silent victories that no one but me had ever witnessed. I've never needed validation from others, but respect. That was different. That mattered. When I stepped back inside, Victor was holding court again, right in the center of the room. He was laughing loudly, telling some animated story. And then he said it. The one thing that made every single head turn. Clara really knows how to pick them. Ethan's just adorable. I mean, she carries the team, but hey, everyone needs a cheerleader, right? The room fell into an awkward, heavy hush. I saw Clara stiffen beside me. People started shuffling their feet, sidestepping away, their eyes darting between me and Victor. That was it. I started walking toward him, slowly, calmly. "Victor," I said, my voice steady as I joined his circle. "You've been quite generous with your opinions tonight." He just smirked, completely unfazed. "Oh, did I offend your delicate ego?" "No," I replied, my voice even. "You just reminded me how dangerous assumptions can be." He raised a single, arrogant eyebrow. "And what exactly did I assume?" "That you understand the structure of the company you work for. A few of his own employees exchanged confused glances. I could see Clara out of the corner of my eye, staring at me, her breath caught in her throat. I continued, unhurried, letting the tension build. You talk a lot about who runs the show, but you never bothered to check who signs your department's budget or who approves your team's bonuses. Or, I paused for effect, who signs your salary? Victor's smug face started to twitch. The color began to drain from it. What are you implying? I gave him the exact same polite, empty smile he'd laughed at earlier. I'm not implying anything. I'm telling you. I let the silence hang in the air for just a moment longer. Then I delivered the final blow. I own this company, Victor. A wave of absolute silence swept across the room. People froze mid-conversation. I heard Clara let out a sharp gasp. Victor's whiskey glass slipped slightly in his hand, the amber liquid sloshing against the side. You, what? He stammered, his voice barely a whisper. I built this company from nothing. Years before you even applied for your job, I said. I sat quietly in the back of meetings while you bragged about numbers that I personally approved. I've watched you dismiss ideas from brilliant people that I hired. And tonight, I looked him directly in the eye. You mocked the husband of the woman who is about to become this company as next CEO. A fresh wave of gasps and whispers erupted. People were staring, their eyes wide with disbelief. Victor's face was now a deep, blotchy red. I had no idea. No, I said, my voice soft but firm. You didn't, and that's the problem. In that moment, the man who had mocked me for being cute, the man who saw himself as so powerful, suddenly looked very, very small. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next one.